gonna be reacting to scary stories for the first time ever in our life. Spooky. Let's get started.
Birthday. I was searching all the typical car sites, cars.com, eBay Motors. They were all overpriced as expected. Craigslist was the only place to find an actual deal. About a week into my search, I found an '03 Toyota Camry. It had 67,000 miles, no accidents, for only $3,500. This seems like a steal for such a reliable car with such low mileage. The seller lived about 10 miles from me, which was a reasonable drive when looking for a car. I gave him a call to set up a time to come check it out. The man sounded normal on the phone. He assured me that there were absolutely no problems with the car. He introduced himself as Bob. I brought along $3,500 in cash, even though I planned on wiggling down the price as much as possible. I pulled up the dirt road to Bob's property about 15 minutes early. It was a tiny little house with a decent-sized property, only because I was a bit far from the nearest neighbors. The garage was open, so I walked over to see if anybody was inside, but except for an unusual amount of car parts, it was empty. The car was nowhere in sight. The only car on the property was an old pickup truck. I went over to the front door to check the house numbers. It was the right address. The doorbell button was missing, so I knocked on the front door. I knocked for exactly 5 minutes before deciding to give the man a call. So I dialed his number, and I heard the sound of a cell phone ringing from inside the house. I was extremely confused at this point. Now I knew I had the right house. I didn't understand why, if he was home, why he wasn't answering. I decided I had to take a peek through one of the windows to see if anybody was inside. Peering through the glass, I couldn't really see much as it was pretty dark inside the house. I saw a very old-fashioned dining room set, but across from that, I saw somebody standing at the back door of the house, staring outside. I figured that must have been Bob, so I knocked on the window, but he didn't even move. There was no gate or anything to the backyard. It was just a wide-open yard, since this wasn't a rural area. I simply walked around the house to the backyard. I didn't understand how he couldn't hear me. When I got to the back door, I made a shocking realization. The figure standing by the door was a taxidermied human being. I ran straight back the way I came and back to my car. I looked up one last time before driving off. The blinds to the window I had peeked into had been shut, but I could see 2 of the blinds bent open. Somebody was at that window watching me. You can probably guess I had the gas pedal to the floor the whole way home. The whole situation still makes no sense. All the car parts, the fact that there was no Toyota Camry, the taxidermied human being, the fact that there was no car there leads me to believe that whoever that man wasn't planning on selling me anything.
No shit.
And that also leads to the disturbing thought that I was very close to becoming a lifeless statue staring out that man's back door.
Suspicious. Personally, guys, I would never do that. Personally. As well, you know me. I'm not that dumb. These people. I'm not that stupid. Not that stupid. We'll watch Deep Webs now.
One of the most challenging parts of meditation is what's sometimes called the dark side.
Skip ads. Because I shouldn't have done that. I'm so sorry.
I was on tour trying to find some really deep websites. I was in a chat room where people normally shared links to deeper websites and weird pictures and videos, commonly illegal pornography. Some guy named Vintage XXX posted a link without describing what it was. I clicked on it, and it took me to a black screen where a big video box eventually popped up with a play button. The video thumbnail was a dark room, only lit by a TV screen. Out of curiosity, I clicked play, and began to hear the sound of TV static in the background as lines of static slowly swam down the video screen. There was no seek bar on this video. Then, I noticed something slowly begin to emerge from behind the wall. It was a figure dressed in all black with some kind of black mask on as well. I started to suspect it was a jump scare video, and I thought I was right when the figure leaped out and ran to the screen in less than a second. It still got me, even though I was expecting it, but then it got strange. The person had their face in front of the screen, slowly moving around as if he could see me and was observing me. Then I heard a crackly, demonic voice say something. It came from the video. It repeated itself, and I could make the phrase out to be, "Ask me something." I was really confused. I tried typing something, but there was nowhere to enter text. Then he said, "No, not the keyboard. Say something." I felt my heart punch the inside of my chest as he said this. I opened my mouth and mumbled the words, "You can hear me?" It responded with, "Yes." I was uncomfortable now. I thought it was a video. I pressed pause, but it didn't do anything. He said, "Don't try to leave. I want to talk." I tried moving the mouse to the exit button, but the mouse was frozen. In fact, none of the keys were responding on my keyboard. There was a long moment of silence before my webcam began flashing as if it were on, and my face popped up on the screen. "There, I got a picture of you now. Now just hang on while I get your address, and then we can meet." I started to panic, smashing every key on the keyboard, spazzing the mouse, but it did nothing. I had my finger on the power button, but it also didn't do anything. The computer wouldn't turn off. The voice was saying crazy things like, "You're stuck here. I will find you. Don't even bother." I snatched the screwdriver sitting on my desk, unscrewed the 4 screws on the bottom of my laptop, and took out the battery. The computer finally turned off. I was gasping for air as if I just ran a marathon. My heart was pounding 5 times as fast as it should have. I have since left my laptop off after that, and have resorted to using my desktop as my main computer.
Good.
I'm sure by now nothing will happen. He definitely didn't have enough time to get my address.
The picture?
Stupid ads.
They can see the picture. Yeah?
Alright, go back. Right here. The toy closet. Oh no, that's in your
It was very common for me to be home alone at night, as I only lived with my dad, and his shifts would constantly shift from days to nights. This happened around the time my dad was doing night shifts. I would stay up really late on these nights watching movies. It's always taken me a long time to fall asleep, so after turning off the TV to go to sleep, I probably laid there for a good half hour.
Yeah, that's
Then I heard a toy fall over in my toy closet. It was nothing too suspicious, but it still creeped me out. But then the doorknob to my closet started to wiggle, until finally unlocking the door. I hid under my covers, not making a sound. It was strangely quiet for a good 2 minutes, so I finally peeked my head out of the covers. There was a figure standing next to my bed, looking down at me. I screamed at the top of my lungs and began hugging the wall behind me. The figure looked out the window and then just walked away out of the room. I stayed in that position for like an hour before checking if he was really gone. The front door was left wide open, so it seemed he had left. I didn't get a minute of sleep that night.
Get over here, you hear me? Is it blind?
No, I don't need to watch the dark web experience. Home Alone. You know, guys, I'm in something right now.
It was very common for me to be home alone at night, as I only lived with my...
Went all the way up here. That's the story. Alright, listen.
This is a short but terrifying story of something that happened when I was Snapchatting a friend. I'm pretty young. I'm only 13, still in middle school. A girl I really liked had just recently started snapping me selfie pictures, and we started messaging each other for a few nights. One night when I was watching TV, she sent me a snap of herself laying in her bed without a caption. I sent a message saying, "What's up?" She sent another identical picture, this time with a caption saying, "Not much, you?" She set the timer to 10 seconds, so it gave me plenty of time to analyze the picture, including her bedroom in the background, and the dark outline of a person standing by her window. I quickly sent a response message saying, "Is that your brother by the window?" She sent another identical snap, this time captioned, "What do you mean?" In this picture, the figure at the window was closer, and I could see a hand pressed up against the glass. I closed the snap before the timer even ran out so I could tell her quicker. I said, "There's somebody at your window, turn around." She opened my snap almost immediately, and then I didn't hear from her again on the app. I grew more and more worried as the minutes passed. I texted her a few times to no avail. I tried calling her a few times to no avail as well. I didn't know her house phone number, otherwise I would have called her parents. It wasn't until midnight when I was already laying in bed that she finally texted me back. She explained the whole situation. As soon as she looked at her window and saw the person standing there, she screamed. And that caused the person, who turned out to be a 20-something-year-old man, to open the window and jump the room. From there, she ran to her parents' room and woke her dad, who went to her room to find nothing but an open window. It wasn't exactly a personal story of mine, but it freaks me out nonetheless, knowing that the only thing that saved my friend from whatever could have happened was the fact that I was able to see the window through her selfies, unbeknownst to the creeper at her window.
That actually gave me the chills. I'm sorry, but that actually gave me the chills, guys. That gave me the chills.
Hard to breathe, but that's alright.
Copyright, no copyright. Okay, never mind.
You don't like copyright?
No, I can't.
Why
The
not?
bathroom stuff. Because I can't do it. I just can't, bro. I can't. Then, it's...
So this happened a few months ago. I'm 26. I was at JFK Airport in New York with 5 friends. All of us were about to fly down to Florida to spend the week in a beach house. We had a few more minutes to kill in the airport before we would board our flight, and I really had to go to the bathroom all of a sudden. I was baffled to see a line out the door for the bathroom. I noticed a janitor walking by, so I asked her if there was another bathroom nearby that wouldn't be so crowded. She laughed and told me she shouldn't really be telling people, but there was another bathroom past the door she was pointing at, down a narrow flight of stairs and to the left. I thanked her because she was extremely nice and followed the direction she gave me. Sure enough, behind that door that no one would think to open was a small stairway that led down to a really poorly lit, skinny hallway. It was so narrow that if 2 people were to pass by each other, one person would have to stand against the wall to make room. I found the bathroom right away. The door was extremely heavy and hard to push. Also, the lights were on inside of the bathroom, and it was filthy in there. It was evident that nobody ever really came in there to clean. Now, this is a little embarrassing to mention, but when I go to the bathroom in public places, I always try to make sure nobody else is around to possibly hear me going. So after checking the stall to see that it was unoccupied, I went back into the hallway for a second to take a look down both directions. To the left, there was somebody standing at the end of the hall, in a dark, unlit section of the hallway. It was a disturbing sight to say the least. All I could do was awkwardly pull my head back into the bathroom and try to pretend we didn't see each other. I went into the stall and just stood there biting my fingers for a minute, dreading the thought of that door opening. And of course, it did. I saw the man's black shoes under the stall door as he walked to the stall next to mine. He shut the door, and then there was silence. No sound of the man unzipping his fly or sitting down, nothing. I realized I didn't really have to go anymore, and went to unlock the stall door. That's when I looked up and saw the man's head peering over the stall, looking at me. I nearly had a heart attack as my screams bounced off the walls of the tiny bathroom. I ran back up those damn steps and out that door, and then casually walked back over to my friends. I was breathing heavily, but nobody seemed to notice. I didn't tell anyone just because it was embarrassing and I didn't want my friends to make fun of me in any way. I know, I guess that seems stupid now.
Guys, subscribe.
We went on to have our Florida vacation and all had a good time. Of course, the thought of that creepy man haunted me every night that week.
If you don't, I'm gonna come to your house and rob you.
Oh, that's too much. After that, I'd go to the bathroom with a homie. That's what I would do.
I'll go to the bathroom by myself. I'll just go to the bathroom.
Very true. What the pa? Yo, stop!
Extreme Trends presents Teen Boy Missing for 3 Years finally returns home, but everything is not as it seems. Before we begin, do us a favor and click that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel and click the notification.
That's the creepy school bus. Shut up! Stop. She has to go today. Been sick, in bed all day, hot class. 6th grade sucks so much, but 20 minutes and I'm done. Watch out. See guys, I'm in 6th grade, and yeah.
He's in 6th.
For the creepy school bus. I never take buses, because I live so close to the school, so I don't take the buses. What? It's not so fake. No, I'm not joking. No, stop. Okay, I'll watch out.
I'm 11 years old.
Well, you're bro, look at him. He's not 11. You could tell. I'm serious, Chloe. I've been seeing one driving around this past week. See, guys, so that's why I never ride the bus. I live close to my school. This bus is smaller than me. I saw it driving around. I saw it driving. No, it's not. I saw it driving around like a ghost bus. Whoa. No, I mean, there are never kids in it. Duh. Hi, you're just trying to creep me up before I get the bus home. Yes. No, I swear, the window in the back had a crack in it, too. It gave me a real creepy feeling. Mad face emoji. What? Langley caught me texting in class, then started yelling right at my homework wrong. She made me stay late and redo 2 pages. Jesus! I hate her. She is evil. Even worse, I missed the bus home. It left without you? I know, right? I called my mom and she got angry at me, but I told me to figure it out when she's at work. See guys, so at my school, when you go to the bus, wait. So when you go to the bus, right? So you actually have to wait for the people. Like some people who go to the bus, right? So you have to wait for the people who are supposed to go on that bus. If they don't, like first you check if they're absent or not, and if they're not absent, then they'll wait for them.
I drive
so yeah.
Bus.
Did you know the girl went missing last week? There are flyers everywhere. What girl? Missing. Have you seen me? This is a good text story. They actually printed out. Oh my gosh, that's so sad and scary. Any chance your dad could pick me up?
Guys,
no, stop. I can ask him. Hold up, there's a bus coming. I'm on it. Don't go on a random bus. Confused, you said it left without you. I'm the backup bus. Backup bus? That's what the driver. Guys, you can actually hear it in the background stuff. He said he picks up kids who missed the first bus and need to get home. Smaller than one bus cracked back window. Yeah. Dumbass. That's the creepy bus. Stupid. I know this is another one of these creepy costumes. Yes. Staring down. They don't have a backup bus. Wait. What? Quit joking. Get off that bus. Get off the bus! Oh, you can't. Not funny. Please tell me where to this bus. I know. Driver's license. He got out and walked away. Tell me what you see. Is there an emergency exit? There are more kids here. I'm in the other buses. Each in a bus. I can see about 12 buses, but they'll probably try the emergency exit, but it won't open. Oh no! Keep describing. The police will be there soon. So guys, there's lots of buses back to back and side to side, like carrots on right next to each other. Oh no! This is really bad. The kids in these buses are shouting further away. All look asleep. Okay. Oh no, they're doomed. Oh my gosh, I know they're dead. Oh my gosh, the missing girl from the floor is in the next bus. You guys are really fast. Just staring at them. Oh my god. All the buses are like cages. It's like a prison for kids. Please help me, please. I'm about to die. No! Oh, that sucks. Police have been unable to locate Chloe Jones. Each day in the United States, over 2,000 children are reported missing. This fact is not a cookie pasta. I wonder why they call it creepy pasta. Weird. I'm at Highland Park. Police everywhere. Can't find He's so smart. No. He's just so dumb. He's just a dumbass. He's not smart. He's smart. He would just run. Start running those guys are still missing. So who cares? Call 911. Why don't you call 911? Be like, hey, dude, I'm on a previous school bus. Help, this guy's trying to kill me. As soon as Candy will hit him, slow down. We're falling tree. We're falling tree in the big rock. I got the tree like Batman gun. It can south nothing else to tunnel. That hurt bad. I hear police sirens. I look for Tony. Don't look for it. Wait for the police. Hurry. Can't find it. Another bus coming. Follow bus into tunnel. 11. I'm in tunnel. Jamie, talk to me, please, buddy. Please. Jamie, please answer me. So dark and shit, steady, I can't hear someone's name. Jamie? I'm coming. Walking down tunnel. Please text me back. Lots of buses here. Where are you? You still have your back. Try to get out. Why do you spell like that, guys? I just hate spelling like that. Honestly, I just don't like spelling like that. Because, like, I tried spelling like that once, but I just can't do it. It's hard. Locked in, try doors and windows move it. I see light up ahead. Where are you at? Trapped in the bus. Listen, girl, in the next bus. Crying. You're crying. You're crying. Someone takes you. That door jammed against other bus. Glass won't break. It's unbreakable glass. Trapped. No way out. Oh no. I'm nearly there when you get out. Oh my gosh. Over 100 pieces. Hi, driver, welcome. On the bus. Smoke clean the bus. Need help now. The bus is on the road. The bus is going to track. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Come out from under the bus. It's bad. Alright guys, well, that's the end of this video.